the beginning of our meeting, each marker expressed their overall mark for each work sample, along with a brief justification.
I would have said, I think I said B- too, is because receptive modes I found pretty good, but productive, so the spelling, the grammar, I put in more the CD, so on one hand.
As a group, it was quickly noticed that our decided upon marks varied for the same piece of work, so naturally we further analysed the criteria to come to a unified decision. We weighed the receptive modes from the criteria sheet heavier than we did the productive modes.
Should it be weighted as highly as
I weighted
their understanding and interpretation
receptive
of the ideas?
higher, because
Yeah.
year 8, if there's spelling,
definitely.
a little bit of vocab, grammar, I expect that as well as because it's an in-class essay. This is not one they've typed up earlier.
This was exemplified in the discussion of the second work sample when it was concluded that the students' work followed more of a descriptive structure than an analytical structure, which the task sheet clearly outlines that the written work is an analytical essay text. The first marking sample was left without a definitive mark decided upon by the group, as even after further analysis of the criteria, we couldn't come to an agreement on a set mark to begin with. So we moved on to the next work sample to see where the first work sample would be in relation to that.
Why don't we put it as like a B- C+, and then we can look at the other ones, and then maybe through that discussion of the other ones, it can kind of, level it out.
Yeah.
My supervising teacher is on the review panel and attended a review up in Brisbane on this PD day, and it was quite interesting to hear the process in which the day goes through. She also made comparison between the standard of marking between her own, her schools, and that of the other schools within the state that she marked. It gave me a further insight into how the state assures the quality of student work as well as the criteria being utilised within the secondary education system. Secondly, within the panel review meeting, it seemed as though the markers were aware of the school in which the student that was being marked attended. Leaving the markers blind from both the already marked result and the school would prevent any biased marks and further assure accuracy within this marking process. When on placement, I experienced a PD day that included quality assurance marking within each of the departments for the first half of the day. The English department at the school followed a similar structure for their quality assurance marking, just with more fluency and efficiency, which is obviously something that comes with experience. It followed a similar structure where each teacher brought an A, B, C, and D students' work from their class, and the students' works were then shuffled between the teachers to be read, individually marked, and then discussed with the original class teacher to what mark they concluded on and any variances, which weren't too many. Both the experience in the internal moderation of the students' work as well as hearing parts of what takes place at a review panel from my supervising teacher emphasised the importance of quality assurance. It does exactly what it claims to do. It assures that the quality of students' work has been marked correctly, according to criteria that's set by the QCAA to ensure no bias marking within schools. Through the use of quality assurance, it also warrants that students are receiving an accurate representation of their work's quality and that marks aren't being inflated or even deflated as a result of perhaps a teacher's attitude or opinion towards a student. I think a small tweak that could be made to these meetings would be to have a photocopy of each student's work without any teacher annotations and a photocopy of the corresponding criteria sheet. This way, the other teacher could mark it free from the pressures of having to comply with the marking of the class teacher. At the meeting on the PD day, I wanted to view more of the students' work from throughout the unit to assess their progression, which would also either support or challenge the given mark of the summative assessment piece. Higher assurance of students' progression throughout the unit, as well as accurate representations of students' quality within their summative learning of the unit, their assessment piece, would provide both the student and the class teacher an accurate representation of the student's understanding of the unit. This would then allow for the teacher to identify potential learning difficulties, if not identified yet, and struggles specifically within the unit to then further provide supporting material for students who need the extra help or time, or to even challenge students who are excelling within the unit.